To the outside world, Michelle Blair was a loving mother who would do anything for her children. But in reality, she constantly abused all of her children verbally and physically. Blair had a total of 4 children, 2 girls fathered by Alexander Dorsey, Gabrielle, and Stoni, and 2 boys fathered by Stephen Barry, Stephen and Matthew. The whole family stayed in Detroit, Michigan. According to relatives, Blair faced constant difficulties with paying her bills and feeding her children. She often asked her relatives for financial help. Also, Blair could not secure or keep a job. Blair accidentally killed her son first during intense punishment. One day, Blair came home and found her youngest son, Matthew, putting his dolls in inappropriate positions. When Blair questioned Matthew, he confided in her that his oldest brother, Stephen, had been raping him. For the next week, Blair severely beat Stephen, choked him, and threw hot water at him while he was naked in the bathroom. In the end, Stephen died, and Blair hid his body in the freezer. Blair said, "I went upstairs and I said, 'Stephen, Matthew said you were humping on him.' He stood up and looked at me like he had lost his mind. He said yes, so I started punching Stephen. I put a bag over his head. He lost consciousness. I did that a couple of times." Blair described her daughter Stoni as being a devil. After 9 months, Blair also discovered that Stoni was abusing Matthew. Stoni's case was personal to Blair because of what Matthew confessed. Stoni would squeeze blood out of her menstrual pad and drop it into Matthew's mouth. So Blair repeated the torture routine. For days, Blair beat Stoni, starved her, threw hot water at her naked body, and finally strangled her until she died. Then she asked her oldest daughter, Gabrielle, to help put Stoni's body in the freezer. Blair said, "She raped my son. I intentionally killed her. When I found out what Stoni was doing to Matthew, it was 9 months later after I found out about Stephen. So for the whole 9 months that we were in the house, she was still raping my child, and I did not know that. When I first found out, I repeatedly punched her. On many occasions, I punched her, put a bag over her head until she lost consciousness. I threw hot water on her. I hit her in the head multiple times over and over." And Blair claimed that Stoni was sexually abusing Stephen way before she started abusing Matthew. This is a very sad story. It's just hard to understand how a mother could be so evil. Check out the video of Blair at court describing exactly what happened.